everyone, and welcome to the Bath Ehresman Track Invitational. I'm Danny Holbrook alongside Miles Holiday and our entire WOSN crew. And Miles, track season has begun. You know how I know? Because it's freezing cold.
It's the best winter sport around, Danny. And where else would you rather be than right here, right now? You know, you and I have done this Memorial Invitational several times,
Yes,
and it's
yeah.
always well run. It's always great competitors in it. And we're going to have ourselves a really nice, crisp night.
Yeah, Bath does a great job of hosting this meet. And let's take a look at our teams that are represented here tonight. We'll start with the home team, Bath Wildcats. St. Mary's will be here. Ottawa Glandorf, Bluffton, Kenton, Wapakoneta, Lima Shawnee, and Van Wert. So lots of representation from all around the area, Miles.
Yeah, the road to the Jesse-O begins today. We're going to have a lot of track coverage here on WOSN like we do every year, and I'm looking forward to getting back to the rightful spot that the track state champion should be at the Jesse-O this year.
You're absolutely right. And don't get me wrong, Dayton's done a great job hosting the last couple of years, but you're right. It does belong on the campus of the Ohio State University.
There's just something special about being at the Jesse-O, and you get in the line to get your picture with the Jesse-O and statue, and it's always a great event.
Yeah. Tonight's track invitational is presented by Charles River in Spencerville, proud to support area athletes and students. Visit charlesriver.com for more information. And our scoreboard sponsor tonight is Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken in Wapak, Delphos, and St. Mary's. Call Lee's for all your catering needs. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, home style happens here. First event on the track tonight, Miles, is
the girls 4x8 meter relay. You're going to take a look at the top two times. Ottawa Glandorf, I have a feeling that's going to be a theme all night long. Had the best time coming in at 10:30, and then Kenton at 10:36 is the second best time.
We've been here, as you said, a lot of times, Miles, and it never seems to amaze me how Ottawa Glandorf just reloads on the girls' track team. Now, the boys' track team is sensational, don't get me wrong. But this year, the Bath Wildcats, boys and girls, have a sensational team.
Yeah, they got off to a great start in the relays last week. Both teams getting a win. So Ryan Shadwell got this program on the upswing.
He absolutely does. So we are underway in the girls 4x800 meter relay. It's 2 laps around the track for 4 runners on each team. And it is about, I'm going to say, temperature right now, Miles, is about 41, 42 degrees, overcast. People are bundled up, and it's only going to get colder as the night goes on. So these athletes will want to get this one in and over with.
The chief meteorologist, Danny Holbrook, is correct. The phone said it is 41 degrees with about a 6 to 8 mile an hour wind. I think it's going to be one of those mentally tough type of days to be able to finish this one. It is definitely going to get colder as the night goes on.
Yeah, and as we come around the track for the first lap, it looks like Shawnee and Ottawa Glandorf are battling for 1 and 2. Wapakoneta is in the 3rd spot, so each of these runners will have another lap to go.
Ottawa Glandorf just takes the lead as they finish that first lap. Now extending it onto the first turn.
Miles, it's always amazing that you and I, we do a lot of track meets together, and the time differential from here in early April till when we get down to the Jesse-O, and it's just amazing what the weather can do for your time and your confidence.
You always run a little bit faster when the muscles are loose, and the weather's definitely going to help with that. Be interesting, these younger athletes, a freshman and a sophomore, who haven't really competed in this type of environment, how they adjust to it early in the season.
A lot of great athletes out here tonight. I saw Parker Krim from Elida walking around a little bit ago. We've covered him quite a bit in basketball.
How'd you
and
recognize him?
Yeah, he's the biggest kid on the track. His muscles got across the finish line before he did.
Parker's so strong, he probably could have carried in all the shot puts for everybody.
He did. So a good night here at Bath High School, and really, when you look around, Miles, for the temperature and the way it is, the crowd is real. There's a lot of people out here.
It's the enthusiasm for the beginning of the season, right? Everybody wants to come out, and this is one of those invitationals that's always highly attended.
And Ottawa Glandorf, they're going to make the first handoff as they start the second leg of the girls 4x800 meter relay, and it looks like Bath is in the second position. So. Another strong performance here by Bath, and you said it best. They boys and girls both won the Joe Ryder Horn relays last week at Waynesville Goshen, so they are kind of on a high streak right now, and they want to defend home turf here at their own invitational.
Bath came in at 10:42, third best time in this, and then Kenton is in third place right now.
Again, tonight's track invitational is presented by Charles River in Spencerville. Proud to support area athletes and students. Visit charlesriver.com for more information. Baseball team is getting a little practice in across the way there. I saw the softball team. The tennis courts are over there. Beautiful complex out here at Bath High School, and they've got the newer school behind us, and just a really nice place to host sporting events.
Yeah, I like how it's centrally located. The only issue sometimes, if you don't get there early, find a place to park. But they're always more than willing to open up other spots so you can park somewhere.
Yeah. You know, Miles, we talk about it each and every year, this time of the year, about athletes and injuries in a track and field event. And it's so important for these athletes to stay warm and to keep those muscles loose. But it's so hard on these bitter cold. And look, 41's not bitter cold, but when you're in April and you're running track in shorts, it's bitter cold.
Well, if you're in shorts and a tank top, it's going to be bitter cold for sure. Bath's starting to make a little bit of a move, trying to catch up with Ottawa Glandorf, who's still in first, and Kenton is holding tight at third place.
You can see the flag out there on the flagpole blowing quite a bit there in the breeze. So as they go around that first curve, they're hitting that wind, and I'm sure that's not feeling good for those athletes right now.
St. Mary's was cruising in fourth place, but it looks like Shawnee is about ready to overtake them. Ottawa Glandorf still doing a good job of maintaining that lead, about a 15-yard lead.
So Ottawa Glandorf, Bath, 1 and 2 right now, and OG extending that lead as they come around the last curve, getting ready to hand off to the third runner. 4 runners in this competition, 2 laps apiece. And right now it's Ottawa Glandorf and Bath, 1 and 2. And I got to believe, Miles, with the lineup we have tonight, you're going to see a lot of 1-2 competition between the Titans and the Wild Kittens.
And Bath needs to shorten this quickly because they're going to have a big stride differential right here as Ottawa Glandorf still has it in first place, and boy, they're adding to it in a hurry. Look at the long strides of the anchor for Ottawa Glandorf.
Kenton is in third place right now, so the Kenton Wildcats trying to catch the Bath Wild Kittens. Big news out of Bath High School this week as longtime girls basketball coach Greg Mock has stepped down after 27 seasons of guiding the Wild Kittens. What an impressive resume for that fine coach with so many Western Buckeye League titles and state playoff appearances and just a remarkable career.
Right, and people, I hope at some point in time realize everything that he accomplished during that time. Dare you say, Danny, it never will be duplicated here in the history of the school.
No. He's been an unbelievable coach, and he deserves to walk out on his own after 27 years, and I'm happy to get to watch his teams play over the last years. So here comes Ottawa Glandorf, and they have stretched that lead out, and now Kenton is battling Bath for that second place position as they come around the last curve. They've got 1 lap to go here on the third runner, but Kenton making their move, trying to get into the second position.
You wonder if Kenton, though, and their game plan, Danny, if they spent a lot of energy on that first lap.
You wonder about that too, don't you?
It looks like the real race will be for second place. Ottawa Glandorf so far out in front, unless something unusual happens. Ottawa Glandorf's going to capture this win.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And Ottawa Glandorf clearly in the lead, just coasting on the back stretch.
Bath has just maintained their stride all the way through this second lap, and I think, Danny, it might be enough to hold Kenton at bay.
These are really good times of the year, Miles, to figure out who's going to be on your relay teams come warmer weather. You want to try a lot of kids, and a lot of kids get an opportunity to try the 4x8 and the 4x1 and the 4x2 and relays. Look, I coached a lot of track, and you work on relays every day in practice. Now, handoffs aren't necessarily a big part of the 4x8 because you're not coming in hot, as we say, but you still need to know who has the endurance and who can make that run in the 4x8.
Well, as you know, good programs, that's when you can make changes like that, right?
Yeah.
The programs that are trying to rise, you just look for any willing body to run 4x8.
Yeah. Oh, you're a freshman, your first year for track? Yeah, you're going to run. So there's the handoff for the anchor runner for Ottawa Glandorf, and Bath is right in the second position. Kenton still maintaining that third possession, and Wapakoneta is in the fourth spot. Nice showing for the Redskins. And here comes St. Mary's right behind Wapakoneta.
Even with an open-handed handoff on the exchange, you still want to make
Yes.
sure you don't lose a stride. And it's so early in the year, Wapakoneta kind of lost a couple of steps because their exchange wasn't exactly what they wanted.
So as I mentioned before, the participating teams in tonight's Ehresman Invitational, the Bath Wildcats, St. Mary's, Ottawa Glandorf, Bluffton, Kenton, Wapakoneta, Lima, Shawnee, and Van Wert. Why do I say Lima, Shawnee? It's Shawnee.
Yeah, being a guy that when we started this, we were up in the Defiance area, we used to call all the Lima schools Lima
Perry,
Bath.
Lima Bath, yeah.
You got those emails that said, nope, we're in Lima. Just call it Bath. Just call it Shawnee. It is a habit that you have to break a little bit. And, I'm just amazed a guy from Roundhead like you knows anything.
Yeah, well, it's been, just learning to read and write has been a struggle. So here we go.
Boy, look at the lead for Ottawa Glandorf, and can Bath hold this off?
Yeah, great.
For second
I was
place.
gonna say, great race right now for second place. Bath is in the position of second, and Kenton is right on their heels. Ottawa Glandorf clearly in the lead, and a nice showing there by Wapakoneta as they're right behind the Kenton Wildcats. Shawnee and St. Mary's battling for the fourth position.
Yeah, Shawnee just overtook it. Now, I like when you make that pass, Danny, then you close off the runner quickly. Make them have to go outside if they're going to pass you. That's mentally defeating, isn't it?
Yes, it sure is. We used to tell our kids all the time, we're not going to pass on the curve. Pass on the straight. There's so much energy expanded on the curve. You want to make sure that lane is straight when you're passing. But every once in a while, you get that young man or young woman who thinks they can spend that energy and pass on the curve. And a lot of times you get really good runners that can do that.
Or if it's the last curve and that's the only chance you have.
Yeah, right.
Then you go ahead, go full throttle.
Here comes Ottawa Glandorf. They are going to win the girls' 4x800 meter run in an impressive fashion. And right now, the race is between Bath and Kenton for second place. Here comes the Kenton runner on the right side. She's going to overtake the Bath runner, and the Kenton Wildcats are going to get the second place finish. And the Bath Wildkittens will come in third, followed by Wapakoneta in the fourth position.
A great job holding enough energy. And as you see them finishing the race, just absolutely spent, holding enough energy to get that win. And, Danny, if you're leading that second spot and you're holding off someone chasing you the whole time, boy, that is mentally fatiguing.
Very tough. Shawnee is going to finish fourth, and they will be followed by St. Mary's in the fifth position. And a great start to the Bath Ehresman Track Invitational. Back here at Bath High School, the girls with a great start to the Ehresman Invitational in the 4x8. And now it's the gentlemen's time, Miles. And great start there by the 4x8 for all the teams. And we've got a lot of teams out there running tonight, Miles.
Yeah, Ottawa Glandorf, Elida, Bluffton, Van Wert, Allen East, Bath, Shawnee, Kenton, Bryan, and Wapakoneta all represented in this one. And your best time coming into this one belongs to Bluffton at 8:36. Now, it is really tight because Bath is 8:40, and then you look at Bryan and Ottawa Glandorf even at 8:45. So this is really anybody's race.
Yeah, and I had mentioned the teams that were represented tonight. Those were the girls' teams that were represented. You're right. Bryan, Allen East, and a few other teams that I did not mention are here tonight.
It's almost like they're running in this one.
I know, right? The Bryan Golden Bears. They're a long way from home, aren't they?
They are. A nice athletic program up in Bryan.
I was going to say, you've got to cover them quite a bit up in your travels up that way.
Yeah, the NWAL, one of those, it's the oldest conference in Ohio and a very proud tradition up there. Unfortunately, Bryan runner is kind of boxed out right now as he's trying to get into fourth spot.
It's a little diner in Bryan that I've stopped and ate at before.
Trying to get a sponsorship there?
I thought you'd have something to say.
Mel's? Was it Mel's Diner?
Yes, Alice and Vera and Flo, they helped me out.
Great grits there.
Mel Sharples. Yeah. So Bath, the home team, with the early lead here, and they're looking strong, Miles. My goodness. They are looking really strong as they come around the last curve on the second lap of the first runner, and the Wildcats extending that lead.
Yeah, he is running faster than he did on the first lap, which is a great sign for Bath.
That is a great first leg for that young man. Coach Shadowall down there just urging his team on. And Van Wert in the second position. And Brian and OG battling out for the third position. Lida Bulldogs following behind, followed by Shawnee.
If you're wondering why we're not calling off the runners'
Right.
names, we just have the school names for the 4x8. Now, the other races, as we continue, we'll have the names as they were nice enough to provide that for us on the heat sheet. But the 4x8, probably because coaches are still adjusting that 4x8, you don't know.
You're not going to have a set lineup in your first big invitational, really. As we said earlier, you're going to find out who's ready to run this, who wants to run this, who can run this. And look, Miles, you and I know the injuries happen during the track season, and you've got to have. If you've got 4 guys on that relay, you don't have enough.
Yeah, early in the season when you're walking around making eye contact with your runners, you know who's got that mental toughness.
Yeah.
If they're not looking you in the eye and they're kind of looking away and grabbing blankets,
Yeah.
you know it's going to be a long afternoon.
You're absolutely right. So Van Wert and Bath, 1-2. Bath continues to lead, followed by Ottawa Glandorf, followed by Bryan. Here comes Elida in the 4th position. Bulldogs looking strong, followed by Shawnee and the Bluffton Pirates coming in the 6th position. And now the Bluffton Pirates taking over the 5th position, getting in front of the Shawnee runner.
I got to like the shades.
Kenton Wildcat runner with some shades on, even though there's no sunshine. But you know what? It's sunny in his world, so it's all good.
Well, I imagine it's one of those things you just get used to running in and you keep it.
Yeah,
and if it's windy, you keep it out of your eyes.
Runners are a peculiar set of athletes, to be honest with you.
Especially distance ones.
Yep, they sure are.
You have to enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
You have to enjoy pain to some degree. You have to find that dark place that you can just go hide mentally.
But I got to tell you, Miles, the Bath Wildcats, they look fantastic right now. In the 1st position, they're going to hand off to the 3rd runner of a 4-runner race, and here they go.
Well, they better keep working because OG has done a great job getting themselves back in this one.
You're absolutely right. So here we go on runner number 3. Danny Holbrook, Miles Holliday from the Bath Ehresman Track Invitational. Love coming out here. You know, this signifies to me the start of warmer weather. And I know we've complained about the cold weather, Miles, but this is the start. When you look across there and you see the baseball and the softball and all the people out here, it's the beginning of rejuvenation for me because I hate winter.
No, there is a rejuvenation for second place right now.
Yes, there is.
OG looked like they were going to get past and then took it back.
And Bath continues to lead as they come into the 2nd lap on the 3rd runner.
Well, Danny, how defeating is that as a runner where you pass, but just for a second, and then the other guy takes it back? Good battle right here.
Van Wert, Ottawa Glandorf, and now Van Wert is in the 2nd place position.
Yeah, those two have been going at it tooth and nail, back and forth, and now OG's going to make another move, it looked like.
So a great battle for 2nd and 3rd place, and now Van Wert extending that 2nd place lead just a little bit over Ottawa Glandorf. Bath continues to lead. Boy, Coach Shadowall's got to be happy with these first 2 performances here at their invitational. The girls with the 3rd place finish, and the boys right now leading this race. Now, that's yet to be determined, but they're in a good position right now.
You always want to win each race, but if you don't, at least stack some big points.
You know, 10-8, 6-4-2, we know how that rule goes. And you look, if you can score in every race in an event like this, you're gonna be all right at the end of the night.
10-8, 6-4-2. Sounds like Danny's doing some kind of cheer.
I am. Who do you appreciate? Yeah.
Well, we appreciate Bath right now. Look at the lead as they're going to make the exchange here.
Yeah, this is going to be a great finish, Miles, because Van Wert has really closed the gap, as has OG.
Yeah, a little issue, though, for Van Wert on that exchange. Hey, take a look at OG, though. Great start after the exchange for them.
They sure do look good, don't they?
But boy, Bath is picking up steam on that back
I was going to say
straightaway.
Bath, Van Wert, and OG are lapping other teams right now with an incredible performance early in the year. Boy, this Bath runner in the anchor position looks tremendous right now, and we'll see if he can keep this up for another lap.
Well, imagine the adrenaline advantage you have early in the year, right? You got all those nerves going that can help you, but it can drain you also
Sure
if you don't handle it well.
So here comes Bath. They've got one more lap to go before they wrap up the 4x8 title here at the Ehresman Invitational. Here comes Van Wert, Ottawa Glandorf following closely. It's 1, 2, 3. And they are off on their last lap in the boys 4x800.
Bath looks as if they have enough or they should be able to hold on. Can OG strike, though, for second place?
Yeah, the race right now is between second and third. And I'll be honest with you, Miles, all three runners look incredibly relaxed for this early in the season. And now watch Van Wert. Here they come trying to overtake the Bath runner.
Yeah, OG's picking up steam as well.
Great finish here. Love the athletes around the track screaming on their teammates.
Yeah, how about the early season enthusiasm by teammates going out there?
There is a lot of athletes here, and they are super excited. Here they come, Miles. Van Wert on the last curve trying to overtake Bath. Can Bath hang on for the win? It's going to be a photo finish. Here comes Van Wert on the outside.
Wow, look at that kick.
Van Wert trying to overtake Bath, and they're going to do it, Miles. The Van Wert Cougars are going to defeat the Bath Wildcats for the first place finish in the boys 4x8, followed by Ottawa Glandorf in third.
What an absolute fantastic finish for Van Wert. We looked like it was going to be Bath all along, and then all of a sudden a wall hit Bath, and Van Wert took advantage of it.
Miles,
great job.
Yeah, you said on the first curve that Bath had an insurmountable lead. It would take something crazy. Well, you know what?
Something
something crazy happen.
Just ran out of gas.
Bath comes in second. Van Wert wins it, followed by Ottawa Glandorf in the boys 4x800 meter. It's time for the girls the girls 100 meter hurdles, Miles. Let's take a look at the field. We've got some really good runners.
Yeah, Gwen Faust for Bath in lane 1, Jordan Gladden from Elida in lane 2, Aubrey Burkholder from Bluffton in lane 3, Rylan Jones, a name that we'll probably see down at Columbus again for Alan Issa in lane 4, Grace Brunfield from Wapakoneta in lane 5, Paige Oberding from Wapakoneta in lane 6, and Maylee Miller from Bluffton in 7. Jones with the best time in lane 4, 15.42.
Well, no Rylan Jones, Miles, as the lane 4 is empty. So you just wonder if Rylan Jones is why she's not running, and it looks like lane 5 is your winner, Miles.
Yeah, Grace Burnfield from Wapakoneta came in with a 15.54. You know, Rylan Jones did not run, but you had to be certain because she's so fast. You didn't know she'd finished early. But let's hope Rylan Jones is going to be okay. I know she did tweak an ankle a couple weeks ago at the All-Star game. Hopefully that's not an issue.
Absolutely. Back here at the Bath Ehresman Track Invitational, the boys 110-meter hurdles are up next. Tonight's presenting sponsor is Charles River in Spencerville. Proud to support area athletes and students. Visit charlesriver.com for more information. Let's take a look at the field for the boys 110-meter hurdles.
Scheduled to run in this one in lane number 1, Israel Ross from Shawnee. Ty Schwab in lane 2 from Shawnee. Nicholas Hunter in lane 3 from Wapakoneta. Carson Cruz in lane 4 from Bluffton with the best time of 15.56. Ethan Cole in lane 5 from Bath. Dane Dooling in lane 6 from Ottawa Glandorf. And Ethan Eisert in lane 7 from Wapakoneta.
So a great start here at the Bath Ehresman Track Invitational today. We saw some really good performances so far. Girls had their turn at the hurdles. Now the boys are up. And good times for this early season activity here in the 110.
Keep an eye on Ethan Cole as well from Bath with a 15.61. Looks like he was going to challenge Carson Cruz. But, Danny, as you know, the first couple of hurdles, always important.
Here they go. Great start for all the athletes. Carson Cruz does get a nice start. He's got a slight lead, and I take that back.
Dane
Dooling from Ottawa Glandorf right now. And it's a three-man race right now, Miles. It's going to be
great
lane
finish,
3.
though. Yeah, Nicholas Hunter in lane 3, the last 2 hurdles, was able to overtake Dane Dooling, who got off to a great start.
Nicholas Hunter was the hunter on that race. He tracked him down, and Nicholas Hunter wins the boys 110-meter hurdles. We're going to step aside. When we come back, it'll be time for the speed event, the boys and girls 100-meter dash. You're watching high school track and field on WOSN. It's the girls' 100-meter dash at the Bath Ehresman Track Invitational. Tonight's scoreboard sponsor is Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken in Wapak, Delphos, and St. Mary's. Call Lee's for all your catering needs. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, home style, happens here. Let's take a look at the fast field for the girls' 100-meter dash.
Yeah, fast is right, Danny. 4 ladies with all times that are comparable. Mackenzie Lynch in that lane number 1 from Shawnee. Olivia Grothaus in that lane number 2 from Ottawa Glandorf. Kendra Deering from Van Wert in lane 3. Amateo from Elida in lane number 4. Best time in this at 12.86. Maya McDougall from Bluffton, 12.89. Chloe Spisak in lane number 6 from Bryan. And then Piper Triplet in lane number 7 from St. Mary's. This is going to be a great race. 4 ladies with real comparable times.
So the runners are getting to the blocks. And we said it earlier, Miles, the temperature's falling, and it is falling fast here. It is probably about 37, 38 degrees here. We started out about 42 degrees an hour and a half ago or so, and that temperature's going to fall quick.
I have noticed in my time on this planet, Danny, that as the sun sets, the temperature usually does drop.
Yes, that is remarkable observation on your part, Miles.
This is the color commentary that you don't normally get.
No,
Danny.
yes. And there is the Miami Dolphins representative here at the track meet tonight. Got his Miami Dolphins hat on.
Yeah, I feel as if you buy a stocking cap that has Dolphins on it, you got problems, right? You want to be in warm weather when you're wearing the
you want to
Dolphins
be a Miami fan, so just about ready to start this race.
Nice job by the people here at Bath. This thing has been very efficient so far. No wasted time.
Moved it along quickly.
Hurdles on and off. Getting everything ready to go.
They're running on a rolling time schedule, which means those times are not set in stone. As soon as the event is over, they're setting up for the next one. So the runners are in the block, and the official is just about to call the set. And there we go to the set. And we're underway as we start the girls' 100-meter dash. So a great start for all the runners, and it looks like lane 2 from Ottawa Glandorf.
That's Grothaus.
Running away from this one. My goodness, she looked powerful, Miles.
Sure did. How about the strides coming out of the block? Everybody's favorite race, the 100-meter dash, is won by Olivia Grothaus.
It's the boys' turn at the 100-meter dash. And, Miles, I'm looking at this field, and there's a young man under 11 seconds, and we're in the middle of April, which is really, really impressive.
Yeah, and he's going to be challenged by a family member who's real close as well. Lane number 1 is Leighton Miller from Bluffton, Jaden Kuhlman from Otto Glandorf in lane number 2. Colton Hobson from Shawnee, 11.05. The young man you were talking about is up next. Dalton Hobson from Shawnee, 10.95. Absolutely cooking. Gavin Sealscott from Kenton in lane number 5. Griffin Stackhouse in lane number 6 from Bluffton. And then Jackson Freisner in lane number 7 from Allen East. A real competitive heat.
So the law firm of Hobson and Hobson are in 3 and 4. So let's be watching that battle as those two youngsters battle out for the title here at the Ehresman Invitational on the boys' 100-meter dash. Great night of track and field. Danny Holbrook, Miles Holiday. Cold night, but warm on the track, and lots of great athletes and a huge crowd on hand, Miles. You look at these bleachers, and they are absolutely filled with spectators.
They're selling a lot of burgers and Lee's chicken fingers out of the concession stand.
So the runners have been called to the blocks. Love all the kids, basically their apparel that they're wearing tonight with their hoods and their trying to just stay warm.
A little bit of gamesmanship on who's going to get into the blocks last right there.
Right. 7 runners here in the boys 100-meter dash, and they are off and running. A great start, as always. And lane 4 and lane 6 battling it out, and it's going to be real close as they come to the finish line.
A little bit of an upset, it looks like, as Griffin Stackhouse looks like he got the victory there, Dan.
I think you're right. Griffin Stackhouse comes and wins that race. What a race by that young man in the 6 hole. Really, really impressive.
If you follow Bluffton Athletics, you know how fast he is. Came in with 11:07. Everybody was talking about Dalton and Colton Hobson, and Griffin Stackhouse says, don't forget about me.
It's the girls' turn on the track, the 4x2 event, Miles. Another great relay.
Oh, Danny, they're doing a great job here. You know how I know they're doing a great job? Tammy, she just brought us up food.
He just brought us a bunch of food here at
burgers,
the Bath
chips, water, and cookies.
This
Thank you so much, everybody at Bath, for taking care of us. But let's take a look at this field. Elita's going to be in lane number 1, followed by Kenton, Bluffton in lane 3. Otto Glandorf with the best time of 1:49.08 in lane 4. Bath in lane 5, St. Mary's in 6, and then Van Wert in lane 7.
So this is where your early season preparation takes center stage, Miles, as the handoff is really, really important in these speed events.
That was nice to see Tammy, who brought the food up here, and you know she's a very patient young lady because her son, Ryan Shadwald. So
you raised Ryan, that's right. So we are just about underway here in the girls 4x200-meter relay. And I know I've said it before, Miles, and I'm going to say it again. The crowd out here is amazing, and what a great event out here, early season track and field. And you've got both bleachers with parents and spectators. The home side is absolutely, filled with people, but there are people on the visitor side, and there are people standing around the track. Just amazing.
It is a nice crowd, and the home side is smart because they're all huddling together.
Right. Get that heat going. So we are underway in the girls 4x200-meter relay. As they come down the back side of this event, all 4 runners run a 200-meter dash, depending on where you're at in the zone, maybe a little less than 200, maybe a little more than 200. And
good indication on the first exchange. Look like Bath and Ottawa Glandorf are about neck and neck on that exchange.
You're absolutely correct. And it looks like Ottawa Glandorf has the early lead, followed by Bath and St. Mary's on the outside. Here come the Titans as they take the lead, followed by St. Mary's and Bath in the 3rd position.
I love the exchange by OG. Come get it.
Yep, really, really like that. And a lot of teams are doing that where the stick goes straight up and you have to grab it in front instead of behind. I really like that.
That's the old stick and carrot method.
So Ottawa Glandorf continues to lead this one.
Bath making a move now.
Yeah, Bath is really making a move. They're going to overtake St. Mary's for the 2nd place here in the girls 4x2.
St. Mary's looks like they're going to make a move on Bath, trying to overtake that 2nd spot. Bath now picking up some speed.
Here comes Ottawa Glandorf, and they are going to win this one easily. The Ottawa Glandorf Titans, and looks like Bath is going to get 2nd, St. Mary's 3rd, and Bluffton with a 4th place finish.
Yeah, really good response by Bath to hold on to 2nd as St. Mary's really made a move, but nice job by Bath to kick it into another gear to hold on to 2nd.
And the boys will be up next right here at the Bath Ehresman Invitational. Welcome back to the Bath Ehresman Track Invitational, and the boys are up on the track for the 4x200-meter relay. Tonight's scoreboard sponsor is Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken in Wapak, Delphus, and St. Mary's. Call Lee's for all your catering needs. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, home style happens here. And our presenting sponsor tonight is Charles River in Spencerville. Proud to support area athletes and students. Visit charlesriver.com for more information. So the boys take center stage here, Miles, in the 4x200. Who's representing on the track?
7 teams in this. St. Mary's in lane number 1, Ottawa Glandorf in lane number 2. Shawnee in lane number 3, Bluffton with the best time of 1:29.25. They're in lane number 4. Elida in lane 5. Bath in 6, and then Allen East rounds out the field. Elida with the 2nd best time of 1:32.47.
Should be a great race. We've had some great runs already tonight here at the Ehresman Invitational. Danny Holbrook, Miles Holliday, early season track and field, always a great time to get outside here and get the warm weather started. Unfortunately, it's really chilly out here tonight. But here in a couple weeks, Miles, we'll be talking about the sunshine and the warm temperatures and all the good things that spring sports bring about.
Hopefully the weather when it changes will stay that way. I think it's real difficult when you go cold into the heat, and then the next one you have, it's cold.
Yeah. Yeah, it does change. The temperatures change. It's weird how, as you get into the summer months, how it gets warmer, and it just seems to go. And after summer, it gets kind of cool as the fall season hits, and then you get winter. It's just really weird how that works.
Well, some would say this is a continuation of the winter season, wouldn't it?
Yes, and some would say you need the Heimlich maneuver. Miles struggling with all the food that the Bath Boosters have provided us tonight.
And
They've done a
down
great
the wrong
job.
pipe.
They did a great job. They brought a ton of food up here for us. We are treated so well out here.
How they know looking at us, Danny, that we like food.
I know, right? They seen us on the Three Wise Man. We're just about ready to start this one. The boys 4x200 meter relay. And we are underway. 4x2. 4 athletes, 200 meters apiece as they go round and round the track. Great start by all the teams. And we'll take a look at the first handoff to gauge who's in the lead right now. And I believe Bath has the lead, Miles.
Yeah, Bath was the first one on the exchange. It was close. I think St. Mary's was second on it.
And don't count Bluffton out, because here they come around the curve. And Allen East maybe a little bit of a lead over the Bath Wildcats, followed by Bluffton, Elida, and Ottawa Glandorf. St. Mary's brings up the rear as we get to the third runner on the track. And Bath with a tough handoff. A tough handoff there for the Wildcats.
Yeah, take a look at Bluffton, though. Absolutely flying.
And Bluffton has really taken over this race. Look at the strides on that young man down the backstretch. And the Bluffton Pirates.
OG has moved into the second spot, followed by Bath in third. And Bluffton is absolutely cruising. OG picking up some speed as well.
Honestly, Ottawa Glandorf on the inside making a move here, but I don't think they're going to have enough. And the Bluffton Pirates are going to win this one, followed by Ottawa Glandorf.
Look at Elida.
Battle for third is between WBL rivals Bath and Elida, and Bath is going to edge them out for the third, and Elida comes in fourth, followed by St. Mary's and Allen East.
Yeah, look like Allen East kind of pulled up a little lame right at the end, allowed St. Mary's to go ahead and get that last spot.
We'll take another break here. You're watching High School Track and Field on WOSN. Welcome back to Bath High School for tonight's Ehresman Track Invitational. Danny Holbrook, Miles Holiday, and it's the girls' 1,600 meter run. It's 1 mile, it's 4 laps around the track, and Miles, a star-studded field.
Yeah, a lot of bodies in this one. Jenna Stump from Shawnee, Penny Francis from Bath, Symphony Schurman from Van Wert, Lauren Schlomer from St. Mary's, Chloe Coons from Shawnee, Kate Thormeyer from Bryan, Nicolette Stickney from Bryan, Emily Durham from Elida, Ella Schlarman from St. Mary's, Casey Van Buschstück from Bath, Bluffton, Nora Matthews from Bluffton, Addie Mans from Kenton, Kenzie Schneider from Wapakoneta, Kaya Heinebaugh from Allen East, Gwen Schaefer from Allen East, Anna Buttelmeyer from OG, Rose Turnwald from OG, Marissa Ledley from Kenton, Addie Schneider from Wapakoneta, and Zeta Heimeller from Bluffton. Now, Danny, your best time coming in, Kate Thormeyer 5:09, followed by Jenna Stump 5:18, and Nora Matthews with 5:17.
So a large field here for the girls' 1,600 meter run. As I said before, it's 4 laps around the track.
And Kaylee Van Buskirk, sorry about butchering your name earlier, but sometimes when those letters get moving around, it's difficult.
So here they come as they come around the last turn on the first lap here of the girls' 1,600 meter run.
Danny, and let me pick your brain here as a track guy.
Yeah.
In the conditions that they're running in, do you want to try and get out to an early lead on this or save some of the energy?
You know, it's so cold out here tonight that, you know, a lot of runners have different styles, Miles, and a lot of girls and guys like to lead the pack. They like the pressure of leading the pack. A lot of the kids that I used to coach, they like to sit back and, you know, see how that first run, the pace goes. The pace is everything, but in a race like this, in temperatures like that, boy, my feeling is you want to get out in front and dictate what everybody else does.
Yeah, conversations I've had with distance runners in the past when it comes to cold air, that's something they're always concerned about, trying to regulate their breathing and deal with that, you know, kind of burns your lungs when it's this cold.
Yeah, the young lady from Bryan is out in front on the first lap.
Kate Thormeyer with the best time coming in with 5:09.41, doing a good job of setting the pace.
So I think we'll step aside, Miles, and when we come back, we'll have the finish of the girls' 1,600-meter run. Back here at the Bath Ehresman Track Invitational as we're finishing up the girls' 1,600-meter run. And you said it earlier, the young lady from Bryan has the best time, and she's in the lead right now.
Yeah, Kate Thormeyer has established herself early and has a huge lead, as you see her on the back stretch right now. This is definitely her race to win.
Yeah, she looks really comfortable, and you can tell that she is in her element right now as she comes around the last curve here. And she's going to win this one running away. See what I said there, Miles? Running away.
It's very punny.
Yes, very punny in track and field. And looks really comfortable. And she's going to cross the finish line. She will win the girls' 1,600-meter run.
Danny, she looks like she is still really strong.
Yeah, she looks mid-season form.
Almost like 4 warm-up laps for her.
Yeah, she looks incredibly strong. And a great performance by all these young ladies tonight.
Nicolette Stickney, her teammate, looks like came in 4th. Bath, I think, is going to capture 3rd place.
So those are big points for the Bath Wild Kittens, as they've had a few races where they've gotten 2nd and 3rd place. So we talked about that earlier, is trying to score each and every event you can.
I think it was Nora Matthews from Bluffton that came in 2nd. So the times coming in look like they held true to form.
And that'll wrap it up, the girls' 1,600-meter run. It's the boys' turn in the 1,600-meter run, 1 mile around the track, and another star-studded field for this event, Miles.
A ton of bodies on this. Going to be important to get off to a good start so you don't get walled off. Jacob Wireman from Bath, Connor Rains from Bath, Wade Mans from Kenton, Cole Nees from Allen East, Brendan Schlatter from Elida, Ty Rosengarten, who has one of the best times in this at 4:30. Elijah Cummins from Bryan. Casey Hoey from Shawnee, Elijah Zimmerly from Allen East, Evan Rawl from Kenton, Damian Kriblez from Bluffton, Owen Scott from Van Wert, Merrick Donaldson, how about that name, Danny,
yeah,
from Bluffton, Gage Recker from Ottawa Glandorf, Colin Ridgway from St. Mary's, Reed Miller from Wapakoneta, Mackay Monfort from Elida, Andrew Laudick from Van Wert, you know, he's a diamond.
Oh, absolutely.
And Hudson Lawrence from Temple Christian, Camden Loft from Shawnee, Wesley Schneider from Wapakoneta, and Reese Long from St. Mary's. Your best time, Scott Owen, 4.3. Owen Scott, yeah, from 4.3.73, 4.30.00 from Ty Rosengarten, and a 4.35, Jacob Wireman.
Yeah, the race within a race. Owen Scott and Ty Rosengarten, just 2 incredible distance runners. And, of course, as I say that, they're out in front.
Yeah, very little difference between the top 3 runners and Wireman, Scott, and Rosengarten. In fact, Rosengarten and Owen, 0.73 separates those 2 coming in.
And we're going to see a battle between those 2 tonight. And right now it's a 3-man race as they're separating from the pack, Miles.
Yeah, a lot of strategy right here, right? In that 3-man pack, you want to set the pace or you want to be the guy that drafts, and then you got to figure out when do you want to make that move.
And we'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have the conclusion of the boys' 1,600-meter run. Back here at the Bath Ehresman Track Invitational, Miles, and it is a three-man race right now for the boys' 1,600-meter run, and the usual suspects are in the lead.
Yeah, right now it's Ty Rosengarten out in front. These three names, Danny, these three guys, you're going to see them all throughout the spring.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those names that you rekindle all the time in districts and regional and maybe even all the way down into Columbus.
So here they go as they come around the last curve in the boys' 1,600-meter run, and it's Rosengarten from Ottawa-Glandorf who's in the lead, and he is trying to hold off the competition. Down the stretch they come, and it is going to be a spectacular finish.
I like how strong Rosengarten is finishing this.
And you are correct, Miles. Ty Rosengarten is going to win this one, followed by Owen Scott from Van Wert. We're going to see that a lot this year, Miles.
We sure are. A great job coming in third for Bluffton. Some points there for Bluffton, who's had a nice showing so far here today.
We'll take another break here. You're watching High School Track and Field on WOSN. It's time for the girls 4x100-meter relay. And Miles, I talk about some of the events that are special to me that I really like. And you know my affectionato for the 100-meter dash. And I love the 4x100-meter relay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you just made up a word there. But let's go through all 7 teams that are scheduled to compete here. Number 1 in the first lane, Brian. And in the second lane, Elina. Van Wert is lane 3. Best time in this is in lane 4, Ottawa-Glandorf with a 5.2.02. Bluffton in lane 5 with the second best time of 5.2.64. Wapakoneta in lane 6, and then St. Mary's will round out the field. And was it Affectionato?
Yeah, it's kind of like what you just said, the clothing company you sponsored. You said the first Lane Bryan. That was a nice move on your part.
Affectionato.
Yeah, Lane Bryan is who you're talking about. Is lane 1 is Brian, not Lane Bryan.
Lane Bryan.
Yeah, Lane Bryan.
Lane Bryan.
Taking on Sears and Roebuck.
Big sale.
Taking on Ace Hardware in lane 4.
Well, let's Sears see who's going to win this one. Right
yeah. So we're just about ready to go. You said that Lima News sensational superstar reporter Mark Allstetter's in the house tonight.
Yeah, he's one of the nicest men in all of Lima land.
No, he is the nicest man.
We sent him a message. Hopefully we get him up here to
let's talk track and field with Mark Allstetter.
Nice visiting with him on the Three Wise Men a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he was fantastic. We are underway. The girls 4x100-meter relay. It's 4 runners. It's 1 lap around the track. Each runner 100 meters or so, depending on where you're at in the zone. They are underway, and a quick start here.
Wow. Unbelievable exchange by Ottawa-Glandorf right there.
Oh, my goodness. This girls' track team at Ottawa-Glandorf is really flexing their muscles tonight. This is impressive so far.
I always make the joke, 3 things for certain at OOG, death, taxes, and great relays.
Wow. They are looking good. They are way ahead of the field here as they get to the anchor leg in the girls 4x100. Flawless handoffs there for early season.
Mid-season form, isn't it? Ottawa-Glandorf going to walk away with this one.
Nice showing by Bluffton, and the third place runners here looks like Wapakoneta, Elida, and Van Wert. Van Wert, maybe?
Down where Wapakoneta on outside, Elida tried to keep up, couldn't do it.
It's the 4x1. It's the boys, Miles, as they take center stage in a fast-paced event.
Yeah, lane number 1 is Brian. Lane number 2 is Wapakoneta. Shawnee is in lane number 3. Bluffton is the best time in this at 4.315. They've had themselves a nice meet so far. They're in lane 4. Lane 5, keep an eye on OG, second best time at 4.387. Elida in lane 6, and then Van Wert in lane number 7.
Miles, this is the event where handoffs matter so much in this race. And it's really interesting as a coach. I coached a lot of track and field. You really have to put your kids in the best position to succeed. And I'm talking about putting them in the zone where they're the most comfortable at. You have a lot of runners who are stronger. You want them to run a little more. You have runners who are quicker. It really is a chess match.
A great point by you, and a great
point to emphasize that was the last match or last run that we had with the OG ladies. Their exchanges were absolutely flawless.
Yeah, and the officials have called the runners to the blocks. Everybody does that high jump there where they stretch their legs out. Made famous by Team USA. Boy, Team USA, man, they've struggled in the last couple of major international events. Their relays have really struggled.
Well, I think the fact that the rules on where you can run has really changed that.
Yeah, you're right. We are underway in the boys 4x100 meter relay. 4 runners, 1 lap, and here they go. Let's see who gets the first handoff. And boy, Elida with a nice exchange there. And Ottawa Glandorf, my goodness, look at this run, Miles. You want to talk about putting somebody in a good spot. The second runner for Ottawa Glandorf with a phenomenal job, and they go 3 wide here as they come around.
Take a look at Shawnee. They're hanging out in second place right now. Bluffton in fourth and Elida in third. But, boy, bad exchange.
Bad exchange there, you're right.
OG's going to win this thing. Bluffton, can they hold off? No, Elida's going to take it.
And Hobson from Shawnee tries to get him back in it. Boy, you wonder what would have happened if they would have made the exchange, and we talk about it every time. An exchange so important.
Well, it's good to learn that lesson early in the season, though. So, one of those things going to cost them today, but might help them down the road.
Yeah, and as a coach, you talk about that with your kids all the time. You know it's going to happen sometime in the season, so you are exactly right, Miles. Why not happen in early April and not early June? Danny Holbrook, Miles Holiday back here at the Bath Ehresman Track Invitational. Tonight's scoreboard sponsor is Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken in Wapak, Delphos, and St. Mary's. Call Lee's for all your catering needs. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, home style, happens here. And our presenting sponsor tonight is Charles River in Spencerville. Proud to support area athletes and students. Visit charlesriver.com for more information. Miles, it's the 400-meter dash, and I call it the dash because the great argument is it a sprint? Is it a distance? There's no doubt in my mind what it is. I've coached this race. It's a sprint.
Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's difficult. I don't know how people do it. Let's take a look at the runners. Lane number 1, Sophia Gearhart from Van Wert. Kendall Davis from St. Mary's in lane number 2. Haley Hale from Bath in lane number 3. Bree Recker from Ottawa Glandorf for the best time of 1:02, a full second in front of Maylee Miller from Bluffton in lane 5. Tamia Jamaye from Lima Shawnee in lane 6, and Chloe Spizek in lane 7 from Bryan.
There are 2 races, Miles, which I say are the hardest in track and field. The 400-meter dash and the 300-meter hurdles are the most grueling races that I think you can run. And this is a really – you see athletes run this for 3 quarters at top speed, and they hit that wall. And it's just a grueling race.
I'm always amazed that, one, you have the speed, and 2, the endurance to do it. The mental toughness part, especially at the end of the race when you know that gas tank is empty.
And here they come around the curve in the girls' 400-meter dash. And let's see from our vantage point. It's tough to identify the runners. I believe that is... see from Bluffton High School.
That's Maylee Miller that is going to win this one over Bree Recker.
Nice run for both those athletes in the girls' 400-meter dash. It's one time around the track. It's called the 400-meter dash, and the gentleman takes center stage.
7 runners are scheduled to run. Led off in lane number 1, Jack Kennedy from Bryan High School. Keaton Welch, a tremendous basketball player from Van Wert in lane number 2. Levi Luke from Bath in lane 3. Spencer Woodward from Bryan in lane 4. Kane Wright from Bluffton in lane 5. Ethan Metzger from Ottawa Glandorf in lane 6. Will Ormsby from Ottawa Glandorf in lane 7. Best times, Spencer Woodward in lane 4 from Bryan at 5:0.54. And Kane Wright from Bluffton at 5:123, Danny. And you know he's hoping he's going to be right.
Absolutely. And lane number 1, Miles, you're no Jack Kennedy. You are not. We are underway in the boys' 400-meter dash, and away they go. It's 1 lap, and it is a tough, grueling lap.
Ask not what lane you want to run in, but what lane you should run in.
That's really a bad imitation. Oh, my goodness. So here they come down the backstretch. All the runners look pretty fresh right now. It's interesting to see the strides on each of these different runners. Some are bigger strides, some are smaller, choppy. Everybody has their own running style. And as soon as you try to tell a kid that his running style doesn't work, he continues to win and run. And track and field is just a complex sport. Here they go. Down the home stretch they come.
That is Kane Wright. In lane 5 from Bluffton, looked like he's going to win this one.
And Kane is right, followed by Jack Kennedy in the 4th lane, and what a race by Kane Wright.
Now, that was Spencer Woodward from Bryan in lane number 4 that I believe held off to get 2nd place.
We'll take another break here. You're watching High School Track and Field on WOSN. Danny Holbrook, Miles Holliday here at Bath at the Ehresman Track Invitational, and it's time for the girls' 300-meter hurdles. And Miles, I talk about grueling races. This is number 1 for me. I don't know how they do it. You got to be real tough to do this event.
Well, one of the leaders in this one, one of the favorites, Rylan Jones from Allen East, 4.47.7 in lane 4, did not run earlier today. It'll be interesting to see. It's tough for us, Danny, where we're set up through the scoreboard to see if she is hanging out in lane number 4 and is going to run in this one. We'll get a better view.
Yeah, she's not running.
She is not running. So
yeah, lane 4 is empty.
Open it up for some other runners. Keep an eye on Paige Oberding from Wapakoneta in lane 5. She had the best time at 4.580.
And here they go around the track. It's 3/4 of a track here for the 300-meter hurdles. And the girls looking really good right now as they come around the last stretch.
Now, it's one of those things that you can really see major improvement as the season goes on, as you get more uncomfortable with your stride over top that hurdle.
And right now it's a 3-woman race as we come down the stretch here.
It's Faust from Bath that has the lead over top of Oberding.
And looks like she's going to win it, Miles, in lane 6. An impressive run for that young lady as Gwyneth Faust from Bath wins it. Danny Holbrook, Miles Holliday at the Bath Ehresman Track Invitational, and it's time for the boys' 300-meter hurdles. And Miles, we've got some familiar names out here in this heat that we've seen run a couple times tonight.
Well, let's start in lane number 1 with Tommy Mustaine from Kenton. Lane number 2, Ty Schwab from Shawnee. Dane Dooling from Ottawa Glandorf in lane 3. Carson Cruz, an impressive young man in lane 4 from Bluffton with a 4.1.04. He's got the best time. Jalen Ridgell from Elida in lane 5. Ethan Cole in lane 6 from Bath. And Ethan Eisert from Wapakoneta in lane number 7. Other than Cruz, you want to take a look at Jalen Ridgell from Elida at 4.125. He has the second best time.
So the sun is setting on us out here at Bath on a chilly Friday evening. The flags have quit blowing, so we know the winds died down, Miles, but the temperatures are really falling.
I got to give a lot of credit to the crowd, too, Danny. They've
my gosh,
hung in there. They still are here. You know, usually these track meets, people kind of dissipate as the meet goes on, but the majority of the crowd is still hanging around.
I think they believe there's a meet and greet with you and I tonight, so maybe that's why they're hanging out.
Glad your new shipment of 8x10 high glossies came in.
Well, how am I going to sign anything if they didn't? Here we go in the boys' 300-meter hurdles, and a great race so far. And, boy, they are bunched up here, Miles. Nobody's separating themselves just yet.
Well, I think Dane Dooling is that guy that's going to separate. There he is.
Dane Dooling from Ottawa Glandorf, and you're right, he comes around the last curve. Boy, he's got really good form for early season hurdles, does he not, Miles?
He does. A little bit of a stumble
I was
there.
going to say, I thought he was going to stumble there, but a nice job recovering.
He had enough lead where it didn't matter. And Bath, I think, is going to go ahead and get second place. Ethan Cole beats out the Jalen Ridgell from Elida.
And Jalen is down on the track, and let's hope that young man is okay. It's 2 laps around the track, and the ladies take center stage. It's the girls' 800-meter run. Danny Holbrook, Miles Holliday from the Ehresman Track Invitational. And, Miles, let's take a look at these young ladies running these 2 laps.
Yeah, Alana Fortman from Ottawa Glandorf, Tamaya Jamai from Shawnee, Olivia Schrader from OG, Gabby Mueller from Wapakoneta, Leah Harder from Kenton, Morgan Schrock from Bath,
Nora Matthews from Bluffton, Emily Durham from Elida, Kelsey Thiel from Bryan, Quinlan Spearman from Kenton, Jenna Stump from Shawnee, and Marley Mason from Bath. Two best times in this are authored by number 1, Gabby Mueller from Wapakoneta, 2:19.89, and Nora Matthews from Bluffton, a 2:20.56. A lot of other runners are close to that. Fortman with a 2:26. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Still a really nice crowd on hand here as the sun sets on the Ehresman Track Invitational here on the campus of Bath High School.
Danny, I think it is an official track meet with Ottawa Glandorf because there's a Fortman that has been called.
It is officially track season when the Fortmans are on the track. So we are just about ready. 2 laps, an 800-meter run, and I would not be surprised to see Ottawa Glandorf really good at this event.
It's always interesting, right? When you're running with a teammate, are you going to push each other and run with each other, or are you just going to leave each other? And usually the lead runner says, you know what, I'm going to dictate the pace. And I know we're teammates and all, but this is an individual run.
You're absolutely right. And here they come down the backstretch, and it is the young lady from Ottawa Glandorf who is attempting to take the lead here on the inside. Great track meet here tonight, Miles. We've seen a lot of good performances for the conditions. And really, look, there's going to be a lot of track meets where there's going to be heavy winds, where there's going to be some rain, where there's going to be cooler conditions. So really, all in all, tonight wasn't bad other than the cold temperatures, and the wind has died down, and it's made for a really nice night.
Runners are now going to start working their way inside as they come through the cones. Fortman is still leading this one. Gabby Mueller from Wapakoneta in second. Everybody can deal with cold temperatures to go to your point, Danny, but when you have the wind that will cut right through you, that makes it really tough. We've been very blessed with the fact that the wind has not been a huge issue here tonight.
You're absolutely right, and Fortman continues to lead and looks comfortable as she goes around the first curve on the last lap of the girls' 800-meter run. Tonight's presenting sponsor has been Charles River in Spencerville, proud to support area athletes and students. Visit charlesriver.com for more information. And our scoreboard sponsor tonight is Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken in Wapak, Delphus, and St. Mary's. Call Lee's for all your catering needs. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, home style happens here.
It looks like we're going to have a little bit of a challenge for that second position now.
You're right. Yes, absolutely. Doing a nice job of trying to track down Fortman from Ottawa Glandorf, but she holds steady as she comes around the last curve on the final lap in the girls' 800-meter run.
Well, the last name like Fortman, you know the finish is going to be spectacular.
Yeah, you're going to be real good finishing.
Yeah, I think Fortman's going to hold on and win this one. Bluffton in second place. That is Nora Matthews. So Gabby Mueller, I think, is going to be in third.
Top 3 come across the line, and that is the girls' 800-meter run as it concludes. Up next, the boys' 800-meter run. Back at the Bath Ehresman Track Invitational, the boys take center stage. It's the 800-meter run, and a familiar name in Owen Scott from Van Wert is one of the prime candidates to win this one.
Yeah, second best time coming in at 2:03.40. Best time, Jacob Wireman from Bath, 2:02.70. Some of the other competitors in this race: Mason Vogt from Ottawa Glandorf, Foster Dieters from Bath, Casey Hoey from Shawnee, Jacob Wireman, as I stated, from Bath, Noah Spaeth from Van Wert, Elijah Cummings from Bryan. And of course, Danny said Owen Scott from Van Wert is in this one. Wyatt Croy from Ottawa Glandorf, Calvin Durston from Bluffton, Aiden Gillespie from Wapakoneta, Merrick Donaldson from Bluffton, who's had a nice evening here so far, and William Doyle from Elida round out the field.
Merrick Donaldson coming off a great basketball season for the Bluffton Pirates, and it shows his athleticism on the track here tonight. So lots of great runners on the boys' 800-meter run.
Had a chance to interview Merrick Donaldson after a basketball game this past winter. Came away really impressed with the type of individual he is.
Good athlete and a great person. I've heard lots of great things about that young man. And it's great to see. It's great to see high school kids competing in more than one sport and just not specializing in something. And we get to see that a lot here at WSN. So here they come down the backstretch lap number 1 of 2 for the boys' 800-meter run.
You're starting to feel the energy in this track meet start to pick up again as people are starting to realize lights are on. That means that we're going to start working our way towards the end of this meet.
Yeah, and it's so much fun here at the Bath Ehresman Track Invitational, the final event of the night, the 4x4, and all the teams get involved in it. And it is the track is surrounded by not just runners, but all the athletes out there. So here we go, lap number 2, the final lap of the boys' 800-meter run as the sun goes down on the Ehresman Track Invitational. Danny Holbrook, Miles Holiday on the campus of Bath High School. A great start to the season tonight, and all the teams competing have done a terrific job.
It looks like it's still anybody's race in the top 4 that has a chance to win this one.
You are correct. We've got 4 runners on the pack who are trying to distance themselves. And there you see Owen Scott in the second place for Van Wert as he begins to make his move before they get to the curve. Owen Scott from Van Wert on the right side. And we'll see if he can take this.
Not able to overtake, but there's going to be 4 guys on this straightaway, Danny, that are going to bust loose.
And here they go, and a great finish in this one.
Here we go. This is going to be a fantastic
they
finish.
They are 3 wide. And is that from Bluffton or from, yeah, from Bluffton. Was that Merrick Donaldson?
Merrick Donaldson able to come out and get the victory there.
What a great run for the Bluffton Pirates.
Or was it Calvin Durston?
Yeah, we're having trouble from our vantage point seeing who that was. It may have been Calvin. We'll have to check on that one. But sometimes when we're up here in the booth, we're far away from the track, and we had a little trouble seeing those.
I will say this. Whoever it was, great effort.
Absolutely.
Come away and stole that one.
We come back. It's going to be the 200-meter dash, boys and girls. You're watching High School Track and Field on WOSN. It's the 200-meter dash, Miles. The girls take center stage, and there's nothing better in track and field than watching a sprinter come off of the curb in the 200-meter dash.
I know our good friend Mark Shine, he says that's always his favorite thing. The determination in their eyes is always an exciting thing, especially this late in the night. Let's take a look at this field. Mackenzie Lynch from Shawnee in lane 1. Amateo Awe from Elida in lane 2. Chloe Spisak from Bryan in lane 3. Kendra Deering in lane 4 from Van Wert. She has the best time, 25.60. Maya McDougall in lane 5 from Bluffton. Allison Ankerman in lane 6 from St. Mary's. Grace Warren from Bluffton in lane 7.
And it looks like Kendra Deering from Van Wert in lane 4 is not running, Miles, as there does not appear to be a runner in lane 4.
Well, that's going to open it up to the rest of the field. Maya McDougall should have the best time. And there she is in lane 5 leading this one.
Boy, she looks really strong. Maya McDougall from Bluffton really running hard, and she's going to win the girls' 200-meter dash.
McDougall's the winner of this one.
Nice job for that young lady. The boys are up next, the 200-meter dash. Tonight's Track Invitational is presented by Charles River in Spencerville. Proud to support area athletes and students. Visit charlesriver.com for more information. And our scoreboard sponsor tonight is Lee's Famous Recipe in Wapakoneta, Delphos, and St. Mary's. Call Lee's for all your catering needs. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, home style, happens here. All right, Miles, the boys' 200-meter dash. This is going to be a quick one.
Yeah, Spencer Woodward from Bryan in lane 1. Gavin Steele-Scott from Kenton in lane number 2. Kane Wright from Bluffton. 2.90, and his teammate Griffin Stackhouse in lane number 4 with 2.239. Those are your top 2 times. Joel Stern in lane 5 from Shawnee. Jaden Kuhlman from Ottawa Glandorf, and Jack Kennedy from Bryan in lane 7. And Jack, we promise not to make any more
no more
political
jokes.
Nope.
Yeah.
But it should be a great battle between Kane Wright and Griffin Stackhouse. 2 Pirates ready to swing their swords at each other.
And looked like somebody jumped early there, but no false start was called. So I don't think they were in the set position necessarily, so they will restart them.
In backyard baseball, we call it a do-over, don't we?
Well, it looked like he fell out of the blocks. He started to go in and he fell out, and I think that's what the call here is. Nobody's going to be disqualified, I don't believe.
Well, you said Parker Krim was here earlier, so maybe he lifted up the side of the track and just tilted it and forced him to fall out.
And now the officials are getting together and having a little conversation here.
It looks like we're going to restart and get ready to go.
Boys 200-meter dash, one of my favorite races. Seen some great athletes at the state track and field meet running the 200-meter dash, and some of the all-time greats in football and track and field have ran the 200-meter dash. It is an absolutely fantastic race.
You were telling me in high school you ran this before?
I did run this in high school. Yep, long time ago. And they are off and running, and here they go in the boys 200-meter dash. And you're right, Miles, it is a run between lane 3 and lane 4, the teammates, as they come around the track.
Now, I believe that was Stackhouse that just absolutely erupted out of the blocks.
Oh, my goodness. He looks strong, does he not? Griffin Stackhouse runs away from the field.
I couldn't tell if it was his teammate Wright or if it was Jaden Kuhlman who was able to grab second, but it was Stackhouse's race. Everybody else was just along for the ride. Time now for the girls' 3,200-meter run. Miles Holliday, Danny Holbrook, and our producer Jacob O'Neill here at Bath High School. Been a great meet. Let's go through some of the contestants in this field. It is a crowded race. Here's who's scheduled to run. Penny Francis from Bath, Izzy Utendorf from Ottawa Glandorf, Kaya Heienbaugh from Allen East, Piper Reams from St. Mary's, Kate Thormeyer from Bryan, Emily Durham from Elida, Marissa Ledley from Kenton, Elizabeth Honsey from Bluffton, Xander Gatchell from Bluffton, Nicolette Stickney from Bryan, Kenzie Schneider from Wapakoneta, Chloe Coons from Shawnee, Gwen Schaefer from Allen East, Addie Mans from Kenton, Noah Byram from Van Wert, Kyla Fallis from Bath, and Addie Schneider from Wapakoneta, and they just turned on the electric slide. The energy level is going to pick up. You're looking at some of the favorites in this one. Kate Thormeyer, who put on a performance earlier here tonight with 11.31.46. Nicolette Stickney from Bryan also 11.37.01, and Penny Francis from Bath 11.39.25 as they're making their way around on this first lap. And Danny Holbrook stepped out. I think he went down to do the electric slide. It's one of his favorite songs, but he'll be rejoining us shortly. And you see the bright yellow shoes leading the way for Bryan. And that indeed is Kate Thormeyer, who is off to a fantastic start. Thank you, sir. As we're getting some of the results in up here in the press box. I'll tell you what, the people here at Bath High School have done a great job with this track meet, giving us results, the official results, feeding us with food. They've done a great job. And now they're turning on the music, letting us enjoy a little boogie woogie, the electric slide. And Danny Holbrook is on his way back up as we're on lap number 2. We'll get his idea on what he thought of the electric slide. And it's kind of fun being at the end of the track meet and seeing the kids in the middle of the infield starting to realize the track meet's coming to an end and they start enjoying themselves. And of course, anytime there's music on, high school kids, what do they have to do? They have to dance. This is a great start by Kate Thormeyer as she is way out in front of absolutely everybody. Nicolette Stickney, her teammate, hanging out in second place. Danny Holbrook just rejoined us. Danny went down the electric slide. How was it?
It was great. I was doing the electric slide with some of the kids from Bath High School and signed a few autographs, took some pictures, kissed some babies, things like that.
There's our leader as she crosses the 50 right there, Kate Thormeyer. Little teammates leading the way. Nicolette Stickney in second place. And we're going to step aside. We'll come back with a finish of the girls' 3,200-meter run here on WOSN.
Back here at the Ehresman Track Invitational, Danny Hort Mounds Holiday, the conclusion of the girls' 2-mile run, 8 laps around the track, and we got a clear-cut leader here in this one, Miles.
Yeah, and let's be thankful that she wore those bright yellow shoes.
Yeah.
Made it easy to keep track of her. Danny, what an impressive run it has been. Just building off of what she did earlier today, Kate Thormeyer from Bryan just absolutely a blur.
Yeah, she's been absolutely one of the outstanding female runners tonight. She's just dominated this track, and she's doing so again here in the 2-mile run.
She's going to finish, and the second-place runner's not going to be anywhere close to her.
Yeah, what a remarkable performance as she wins the girls 2 miles. And Miles, I made the comment before she came around on her last lap. Some of these girls still have 3 laps to go, which, when you think about it, it's impressive. You see kids get lapped every now and then, but she lapped some of these girls twice.
Well, people will tell you can race your opponents or you can race yourself, and that's what she's doing, right?
Yeah.
Just building off of a great performance after another.
Up next, the boys' 2-mile race. Wrapping up another track invitational here at Bath High School, the Ehresman Track Invitational. Just a few more events to go, and right now we're on the boys' 3,200-meter run. It's 2 miles. It's 8 laps around the track, Miles.
Cooper Fisher from Ottawa Glandorf, one of the best times at 10:30.00. Wade Mans from Kenton is in this race. Colin Ridgway from St. Mary's. Jaden Cobalt from Allen East, Wesley Schneider from Wapakoneta, Josiah Cummins from Bryan, Harrison Sloan from Van Wert, Adam Fritsch from Bluffton, Elijah Zimmerly from Allen East, Reed Miller from Wapakoneta, Andrew Loddick from Van Wert, Landon Jones from Bath, Will Bensman from Bath, Brendan Schlatter from Elida, Ian Delgado from Shawnee, Brandon Buchanan from Bryan, Ethan Weiss from Ottawa Glandorf, Corson Davis from Kenton, and Adam Jamai from Shawnee. Loddick is a 10.2400, and Josh Cummins from Bryan a 10.22.05, along with Cooper Fisher. Those are your 3 top times coming into this.
So just about wrapped up here at the Bath Ehresman Track Invitational. Boys' 2-mile run is underway as we go around the first lap for 8 individual laps for all these runners. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll have the finish of the boys' 2-mile run. We're back here at the Bath Ehresman Track Invitational for the conclusion of the boys' 2-mile run and all the activities on the infield, Miles, as the runners finish up the 2-mile race.
Well, you know, Danny, anytime the Macarena comes on, you have to circle up and then do dances in the middle.
I feel like throwing a block of cheese out there and doing the macaroni and cheese.
Well, the good news is we got some great action around the track as well, but the youngsters are having some fun with that newfangled music, Danny.
Oh, that is craziness. This newfangled generation of musical kids. Craziness. And we're just about ready to wrap up the 2-mile run here on a really crisp evening here, and the temperatures continue to drop. At least the wind stopped blowing, and we're about to have a winner here in the boys' 3,200-meter run.
Love the bright neon shoes.
And
Josh Cummings is going to go ahead and get that win. He was the best time coming in with a 10.2205. And thank you for wearing the neon shoes.
Yeah, the Bryan Golden Bears sweep the 2-mile boys and girls. They have a representative from both sides, and they win both races.
Yeah, Kate Thormeyer for the ladies, and then Josiah Cummins for the boys. I'd like to see those two race against each other.
Absolutely. We're going to step aside one last time. We come back. It'll be everybody's favorite race, the boys and girls 4x400-meter relay. And we'll wrap this one up from Bath High School. It's the final event of the night on the girls' side here at the Bath Ehresman Track Invitational. Danny Holbrook, Miles Holiday on the campus of Bath High School. And the girls' 4x400-meter relay takes center stage.
Yeah, let's take a look at the field, Danny. 7 teams slated to run in this. In lane number 1, Van Wert. Number 2, Bath. Number 3, Bluffton. In lane 4, Wapakoneta. In lane 5, Shawnee. Lane 6, Bryan. And lane 7, Ottawa Glandorf. Your best times, almost a dead heat between Bath and Bluffton. 4-2-3 4.2354 for Bath, 4.2353 for Bluffton.
And it does look like all lanes are full, Miles, and we haven't had that tonight for a lot of the competition, but it looks like all 7 lanes are full for the final event of the night for the girls.
The anticipation for the 4x4, always fantastic, but even a little more special early in the season. Everybody trying to get those early season jitters out of the way, that early enthusiasm, and we're ready to go.
And the track is lined up around the track on the infield. You got a lot of the teammates who are rooting the girls on, and we are underway in the girls 4x400 meter relay.
Going back to some music again. The dancing that was taking place on the infield during the 3200 was kind of fun to watch. A lot of people enjoying themselves.
Yeah, so they're playing a little music here to encourage the girls on the track to run a little harder, maybe. We got a little upbeat music here at the Ehresman Invitational.
Yeah, and the most important thing, nothing has been done by AC/DC so far.
No AC/DC.
So really good job by the people at Bath in picking your music selections.
So here they come down the home stretch, and Ottawa Glandorf has the early lead. Nothing new there. What a fantastic job all of their relays have done tonight.
They are first on the exchange. A little bit of a slow exchange on that one, but they're still in fine shape.
Bath with the second handoff, and they are neck and neck with, I believe that is Kenton, maybe?
Yeah, that is Bath and then Van Wert.
Van Wert, excuse me, yeah. Stretch out a little bit there to see that handoff. Great event here tonight. As always, we are always treated great here at Bath. Our scoreboard sponsor tonight has been Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken in Wapak, Delphos, and St. Mary's. Call Lee's for all your catering needs. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, where homestyle happens here. And our presenting sponsor tonight has been Charles River in Spencerville. Proud to support area athletes and students. Visit charlesriver.com for more information. Look at Bath, Miles. Bath trying to get the lead, and they are going to take the lead from Ottawa Glandorf in the second leg of the girls 4x400.
Yeah, tremendous leg for Bath. Way behind on the exchange, now in first place as they traded again.
You got to like that inside position from Ottawa Glandorf, though. See where they're going to go. And now Bath has got to the position where they're on the inside now, and they're starting to stretch that lead a little bit over Ottawa Glandorf.
I saw what you were explaining, Danny. Ottawa Glandorf had a small little window.
They did.
To overtake that lead, but smart move by Bath closing it off.
So here they come down the back stretch. The Bath Wild Kittens leading the Ottawa Glandorf Titans 1 and 2 in the girls 4x400 meter relay, and everybody cheering on their teammates around the oval. They'll come around the last curve, heading down the home stretch.
Definitely a two-team race on this.
Bath continues to lead Ottawa Glandorf as they come in to the final runners of the night in the girls 4x400 meter, and it is neck and neck between Bath and Ottawa Glandorf.
Might be dead even on the exchange.
And Bath has the inside position as they hold a slight lead over Ottawa Glandorf, and this is going to be a fantastic finish, Miles.
Smart move by Bath, holding on that inside, making the Ottawa Glandorf runner really wear herself out.
Yeah, run it just a little bit more, and both those athletes looking real comfortable. It is neck and neck down the backstretch. Bath with a slight lead over Ottawa Glandorf as they come into the final curve in the girls 4x400 meter relay.
Bath doing a great job of just walling it off. Ottawa Glandorf having to expend some extra energy.
That is a great job by that Bath runner, and it's going to be a photo finish as down the stretch they come. It's the Bath Wildcats. It's Ottawa Glandorf. Ottawa Glandorf with a lead. They take it on the outside. Here come the Titans. They go around the Wild Kittens, and the Ottawa Glandorf Titans are going to win the girls 4x400.
Now, what a fantastic last lap. Held out for 3/4 of it. I don't know where she found the energy.
She passed her on the final home stretch going into the last lap. Unbelievable running by the OG Titans. It's the last event of the night. It's the boys 4x400 meter relay. Danny Holbrook, Miles Holliday from the Bath Ehresman Track Invitational. And what a night we've had. And we're going to sum it all up with the boys 4x400.
7 teams are scheduled to run. Let's take a look at the field. In lane number 1, Bryan. In lane number 2, Shawnee. Lane number 3, Van Wert. Lane number 4, Wapakoneta. Lane number 5 is Bath. Number 6 is Ottawa Glandorf. And number 7 is Bluffton. Bluffton has the best time coming in at 3:32.83. Bath in lane 5, a 3:4.15. And then Ottawa Glandorf in lane 6, 3:42.18. Those are your 3 top times.
And if it's anything like the girls' finals where Ottawa Glandorf edged out the Bath Wildcats, we are in for a treat. And those two schools battled it out all night. As we said at the top of the broadcast, they would, and that's exactly what they did all evening.
Danny, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see anyone lined up in lane number 1.
I do not.
So it looks like Bryan might have begged off of this one. Long ride home.
Yeah, I was
probably
say,
just want to get going.
Yeah, it may be a case of the cold weather and the fact that they are an hour and a half to 2 hour drive home. Great of them to come to Bath. A great track school and nice effort.
And I spoke a little bit too soon earlier about the music selection here at
Here we
Bath.
go, yeah.
A little AC/DC now. And this is going to get everybody on their feet for this last 4x4.
And I do see the Cleveland Browns flag flying at the 50-yard line, which is always a positive sign in a football stadium.
Signifying the fact that they signed Joe Flacco.
That's right. No Flacco from me. He's our guy. Here they come. The first runner, and Bluffton with a big lead, Miles. They look impressive right now.
Remember, their exchange is going to be a little bit later, though, in that 8th lane, but they're going to get it first and foremost.
Oh, yeah. They're looking good right now. Bath in the second position as they try to chase down the Bluffton Pirates.
OG's hanging out in 3rd place. One of my favorite things, the teeter-totter effect, is everybody runs from side to side to root on the runners.
You know, that's the one thing about track and field, Miles, is there's a lot of camaraderie among teammates as these kids cheer one another on, and it's always great to see this last event of the night. And AC/DC cheering on the kids as they come back to the home stretch. Here they come, chasing down their favorite athlete. And Bluffton with a nice lead, and Bath trying to take them down from the 2 spot.
Take a look at Ottawa Glandorf, though, gaining some serious ground on Bath for that 2nd spot.
And we'll go to the third runner of 4 in the boys 4x400 meter run. It's Bluffton, it's Bath, and Ottawa Glandorf 1, 2, and 3.
A nice job by Bath on that exchange to get a solid footing on that 2nd spot.
So a great night of track and field here from the campus of Bath High School. Danny Holbrook, Miles Holliday bringing you WOSN's track and field. We'll have plenty of track and field meets throughout the spring, as Miles and I will be covering most Friday night meets throughout the spring season. Jennifer Beck handles the Saturday afternoon meets, and away we go.
Bluffton slowing down a little bit, opening that door for Bath to take over,
and that's
OG
exactly
might grab 2nd here.
Bath has taken the lead, and it is a struggle for 2nd place. Here they go, the anchor leg runners. It's Bath, it's Bluffton, it's OG, 1, 2, 3.
How big would it be, Danny, for Bluffton to close this thing out, or for Bath, rather, to close this thing out, come from behind and win this 4x4?
And Miles, look at the battle for 2nd place between Bluffton and Ottawa Glandorf. And it is a tight run there as Bath continues to lead coming into the final curve in the boys 4x400.
Look at OG.
Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding? Look like he came out of a slingshot. Miles, this is going to be a great finish. Can Bath hold him off? Here comes Bath down the home stretch. It's the Bath Wildcats. It's the Ottawa Glandorf Titans and the Bluffton Pirates. 1, 2, 3. And Bath is going to win it. And 2nd place is going to go to the Bluffton Pirates. They edge the OG Titans.
Great finish for Bath. A great night here for everybody that participated. And another momentum builder for Bath. Ryan Shadwell, great meet. you got to be happy with the performance of his team. So many great runners, Danny, OG, the ladies from Bryan, the distance from Bryan. A lot of fun here tonight.
It's been a great night, Miles. We've seen some great competition. Big thank you to the Bath Athletic Department, the Bath Boosters who fed us so well tonight. Just a great night of track and field. For Jacob O'Neill, our cameraman, Miles Holliday, our color guy, I'm Danny Holbrook saying we'll see you next time. You've been watching High School Track and Field on WOSN.